Hey everyone, it's BF Flynn with DMV's Illest Barbers. On today's Barber Talk, we are talking to Rich Cutz, who is a phenomenal guy in the industry who is making headways and creating his own space and his own outlet. So let's dive into the conversation with Rich Cutz on today's Barber Talk. So we are here with Rich Cutz, the barber, and it is an honor for you to be here. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. How was
Thank
your day
you.
so far?
Pretty good.
It was.
Uh, yeah, I went I worked today, matter of fact, and I left work and went to the gym, so I got a little workout in before I came home. So
I
today's
love,
been pretty good. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I was just looking at your work schedule before we met, and you work a lot. It looks like you're off Mondays and Fridays, but you work a lot. So
Nah,
tell me how you.
I'm only off on Mondays. You probably looked at my Fridays and it was booked.
Oh, that's right. It says Thursday through Saturday. It says Thursday through Saturday. Right,
Yeah,
right. So
I work. Yeah.
tell me about this schedule. How is that working for you? How did you come up with it? Talk about it.
Okay. My schedule is from Tuesday to Sunday, so I'm only off on Mondays. And I came up with it because I'm a workaholic. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I like if I'm doing something that I love, I like to put every ounce of blood in it. So I love what I do. I love what I do. So I got the way I got my schedule. My schedule is so structured because I have a website, so I can go in there and block little times off if I want to go work out or go to lunch or do something outside of the barber shop. So, but basically, I work out like super early, maybe like 4:30 in the morning, and then I come home and get ready for work. So my schedule is busy, but I know how to manipulate my schedule to the point where I can take a little bit of time off for myself. But 6 days a week is good, but I got some stuff coming up in the future, so I might be able to scale a little bit as far as the schedule is concerned. But right now,
Uh,
I'm good with it. Yeah.
I love that. We're going to ask about that. Are you speaking about the podcast?
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to talk about that. Awesome. So, okay. So tell people who you are in terms of like where they can find you, where you're located. Just go ahead and plug yourself really quickly.
So you want me like sell myself? What you trying to tell?
Yeah. Yeah. I want you to do
Look,
that.
look, look. My name is Rich Cutz the Barber, born Richard. I'm located at 5724 Silver Hill Road. I've been there for like 5 years. And I've been cutting here for about maybe 12, 13 years. Like I said, I work 6 days a week. If you want to find me, I'm on Instagram at Rich Cutz the Barber. I'm on Facebook as Rich Cutz the Barber. I'm on TikTok as Rich Cutz the Barber, and I'm on. And that's it. And my website is www.richcutsthebarber.com. If you want to make appointments, I don't do over the phone appointments. Everything got to go through the website. So that's
Okay.
basically it.
Absolutely. And that's cuts with a Z, not an S.
Yeah, Cuts with a Z. Rich Cuts the Barber. Yeah, with a Z.
All one word. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So
yeah,
talk about how you got into barbering. Like you said you love what you do. You've done it for approximately 13 years. How did you even
yeah.
get into the field?
Okay, I'm very, very autonomous. I'm not the type of person that like to. I feel like let me put it like this. I feel like to be in this world, you have to follow some type of rules. You got the natural laws, you got the common laws, you got the universal laws, you got like man-made laws. I'm not the type of person to follow, to let people direct me what to do. I tried the 9 to 5 and it don't work. So it didn't work for me because they kept telling me I'm very, very insubordinate. I don't like being told what to do. So I said, what would you like? That's the first thing I would ask myself sometimes, like, what would you like to do that you know that you what would you like to do that you know that when you wake up in the morning, it's not going to be a bother? It's not going to be like, oh, I got to get up to do this. It's not going to be a hassle. So I wanted my brain, wanted my brain, wanted my brain. I said, and before then, I was kind of like my little brother's head at home. So I was a little bit used to it. So I said, you know what? Let me try this head thing. So I tried to come up with everything else and I prayed on it and all of that. But I was like, I can't come up with nothing because everything I came up with had something to do with somebody, me working for somebody. So I told myself, I said, you know what, let me try this barber thing. So I went to barber school, matter of fact. And then the crazy part about barber school was when I got there, I went to Bladensburg Barber School. So when I got there, they, you know what I'm saying, I paid it out of my pocket. I didn't get no loans, no grants, none of that. So when I got there, make a long story short, they said, man, pick a chair. I'm like, pick a chair? What do you mean? So you gonna cut today? I said, I just got here. So they put me in a chair, man, and my first haircut was a fade.
Mm.
Man, when I tell you I was sweating, you won't believe it, but I completed the objective, but that's how I started. And after that, I was like, okay, this is something that I want to do. It was kind of, in the beginning it was kind of rough, but I realized that this is something that I will be very, very passionate at. So I just took it from there.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So I hear that you were not really interested in working a 9 to 5, and I can understand that. Absolutely.
Hmm.
And so were you just of an entrepreneurial mindset, or were you at like a creative and you mixed that with the entrepreneurial mindset?
It was both. It was both because before. Oh, okay. Let me give you a little back. Let me give you a little backstory. I was doing a 9 to 5, and I found reasons to not go to work. So either I will quit or they will let me go, right? So, make a long story short, I got into certain businesses that I wasn't supposed to be in. Growing up, you want to get into, you want to try some little things. I'm pretty sure people can read between the lines of what I'm talking about. I got into some illegal activities that I wasn't supposed to get into, and it got to a point where it was, I'm, yeah, it was between matter of life and death because a lot of my friends was getting shipped out, or you know what I'm saying. It was a lot going on, so that's why I asked myself. So me being who I am, I kind of translated what I was doing in the streets into barbering. They said the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So if you in the streets, you always got to have some type of structure. I don't care what type of uh, I don't care whatever you're doing. There's a level of structure and there's a level of consistency that you got to put in to be successful. So I translated whatever I was doing before right into what I'm doing now. It took some time because I know that everything starts with resistance. You cannot. The thing is, when there's no resistance, there's no flow. So you have to be able to deal with the resistance first, and then moving forward, it becomes a little bit more easier. It becomes a little more fluid. You understand me? So me being who I am, me being a thinker, I said, no, what, I can translate exactly what I was doing before into what I'm doing now. But I know it's going to take some time. And I know it's going to take a little bit of investing in myself. So, I had a little bit of I had some money saved up. So starting working in the barbershop, it was difficult. When I graduated from barber school, I went straight to a barbershop with no clientele. So it was difficult. So I told myself, I said, man, back to what I was doing before. I'm not saying I went back to what I was doing before. I went back mentally what I was doing before. I said, how can I make the same type of structure? So I said, you know what? Let me pass out. I went and got my business cards. And I went and got my business card. So what I did after I got my business card, back then it was no Instagram had just started, so I didn't really know how to work Instagram. So social media was kind of brand new. So what I did was I started doing some footwork.
Mhm.
So I would go to the closest grocery stores. I would go to the closest liquor stores. I go to the closest whatever's close around me. I would go there and I would just sell myself. I would look at a person, say, sir, my name is Richard. Look him in the eye, shake their hand. I just started cutting hair. So, if you want to come get some service, this is my card. I appreciate you if you come. I appreciate you if you don't. Most of them they will tell you that. They will tell you that oh, I'm good. I got a barber. I said, man, just in case you need another barber, you know, um, just just come talk to me. My number's on here. So whenever you need that, just get your old barber's not there. You need some emergency. You can come see me. Say, okay, cool. So some of my presentations they like. Some of them they will shun it. They were like, I'm good. Before you even get to I'm good. So I came up with a formula where I say, you know what? If I can distribute maybe 100 cars a week, out of the 100 cars, I might be able to get 10 people. And out of that 10 people, I might be able to keep five. If I can get 5 clients a week, that's 30. That's 5 clients a week is 20 clients a month. Out of 20 clients, if I can keep 15, that's 15 every single month. I can build on that. And through word of mouth through them, I can build on that and build on that and build on that. So for the first 6 months, I was just hustling. I was hustling. I was like, okay, this is the same thing I was doing in the streets. I can do the same thing here. And it translated. Maybe I got good, you know what I'm saying? I got, as far as a consistent clientele, maybe in a year or so, I got a consistent clientele. But like I said from before, the way everything is connected. So the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so do you find that, because you're from more the old school when you were passing out the business cards, and so now,
Mm,
the barbers that are just getting into the game, or even you yourself right now, you don't necessarily have to do the business cards. You can use the social media platform. But with that, do you find that the connection with the clients is different, or is it about the same?
it's different. It's different because it's now the accessibility is easy. But the thing with these new barbers is they're lazy. They don't really want to put in the work because everything now is on your phone. They rather go on Instagram and scroll through and watch other barbers work instead of promoting themselves. So I got some old guys that are still not technically inclined, so they don't really like to use phones and stuff. So they call me and and I make the appointments for them. But besides that, I don't really. Most of my advertisements goes through social media. From time to time, I will promote myself. That's why I will pay for promotion. Like
Yes.
you have to, I will
Yes.
pay for promotion, and I go on there and I would literally pay for promotion when like days like months like this, like wintertime, it get a little bit slow. This when you push. This when you push your product. Not trying to, if you understand what I mean. This when you push your product. So by the time spring comes, that's when everything is coming out of the ground. So by the time spring comes, you have new people. By the time summer comes, you move. So like I said, you got to have a certain structure, a certain format, a certain formula. When things are slow, you know how to move. When things is move too fast, you know how to move. When things is even to kill, you still know how to move. But I think the thing that's wrong with the young guys now, which I'm not. It's nothing against them, but the thing that's going is everything is right in front of their face. And sometimes when you don't pay for something, you don't pay attention to it. You understand what I'm saying? So everything is so easily accessible to them that they don't pay attention to it. But if they had to actually work, you know what I'm saying? If they had to actually work like we used to be to get where we're going, then they would have found some type of value in it. I don't think a lot of people value social media for what it is. They just go on there and just scroll through. And I'm like, I said, do you know what the power in your hands? Like you have a multi-million dollar that phone in your hand is worth multi-million dollars if you just know how to utilize it. And a lot, like I got a couple of young guys that are under me that I they're under my tutelage and that I talk to and I mentor, and I tell them the same thing. Like, no, you have to work. So this is the best time. You have no children, you have no responsibility. Do not move out your mama house. Stay with your mama, and whatever BS that she give you, just deal with it and save all your money. Because if you save all your money by the time you get to my age, you can retire. You can do you can, like I said, you can scale and do some other things before you get to my age if you have a plan. But it takes some time. It takes some time. So
Absolutely. I love that.
yeah.
And you hear that across various you hear that same sentiment across various um careers or professions, that
Uh-huh.
the younger generation really did not have boots on the ground. So they really don't understand what it takes to really become successful, and really hold on to the success without and steady the waves without going through the emotional roller coasters of just quitting.
Absolutely.
So that's really good. I noticed on your page you do a lot of inspirational, don't forget that you're gods and goddesses, that,
Yes, ma'am.
and I
Yes,
heard you
ma'am.
talking about universal laws, I'm very hip to that. So tell us a little bit about your spiritual practice and how that plays a part in how you do business today.
I think I think the mind and body have a symbiotic relationship right now. When I say that, I mean that wherever the mind goes, the body follows. So for you to get to a certain spot, you have to really clean your mind and body, right? So meaning that the way you eat, the way you talk, the people that you're around, the things that you ingest in your body as far as reading, helps you either elevate or it helps you digress. So one thing one thing that I do is I'm really keen when it comes to meditation. Like I would take my time early in the morning and I would sit down to myself and turn the light off. It's a saying that goes that a man's inability to sit still is the reason why I'm killing the quote, right? The reason why there you go. The reason why a lot of people have issues is their inability to sit still. Right, because once you sit still, you get certain downloads. When I say downloads, you get certain intuitions, you get certain ideas that come to you because you want with yourself. So, in order to do that, you have to really clean up your system. When it comes to what you eat, when it comes to working out, when it comes to what you listen to, when it comes to the people that you're around, So, like I said, everybody, like when I think of God, I think of an infinite source that when I think of God, I think of an infinite source, right? That transcribe himself in the physical in 2 billion people to express himself. So when I say you are God's, I mean that you are a manifestation of him. So you have everything that God did, you can do. God created, you can create. You know what I'm saying? If God is omnipresent, omnipotent, you can do that too. Because when it comes to the mind, when you close your eyes, you can go to Kansas without being in Kansas. So why can't you bring something that's spiritual to the light? You feel me? Why can't you bring something that's not informed into matter? You know what I'm saying? You only as far as you can go. You are your own roadblock. So when I say that, people don't understand. I say, dog, if you really think about the things that you can do, right? If you can manifest it in your mind and hold on to that thought, it will become it will manifest itself in the physical. So I try to tell these young boys, I said, man, at your age, your brain is very, very young. So you have to mold your brain to the point where you can turn things from the metaphysical. You can turn things from just the pure thought into something belief. Sometimes I test myself, like with this, like I said, we're gonna talk about that later. But with this whole venture that I'm in, like it's crazy how sometimes you can sit down and you can have a thought, right, and you can wake up in the morning and the first thing that comes in your mind, that thought, and once that thought comes in your mind, it's certain signs that you see that tells you this is the right thing. Intuition is very, very like I believe that the best gift in the world is intuition.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So a lot of people don't understand what intuition is, and a lot of people don't understand how to tap into the intuition because of the environment. When I say your environment, I mean the things that you eat, the people that you're around. When that type of environment is not pure, your intuition is not pure. But sometimes you have certain feelings and certain things that come to you, and you think it's true. And when it don't become true, you be like, "Oh, it's my intuition." But honestly, it's not, because honestly, it is, but it's not. But I said it to say this: you have a thought, and the thought won't come in because of the way that your mind is, or the things that you've been doing. The things that you've been doing. So you have to actually clean yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, for you to get for you to get certain connections or certain information from whatever source that you say that you believe in. And the thing is, like, once you hold on to that thought, you can turn it into the physical.
I love
And
that. I love
yeah,
that. As above, so below, right? And so it definitely
facts. No,
goes back.
that's the law of correspondence. So you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
I could tell you tapped in a little bit. So
about. No, I was meditating when
yeah,
you jumped on. I was
there we go.
meditating
And I was
down
to be honest
today.
with you, before I got home. You know what I'm saying? I got here and I meditated and I said, I hope, you know what I'm saying? I asked the Most High, I said, however this conversation go, I don't want the information to come to me. I want the information to come through me,
That's
so I
right.
can be able to articulate whatever I need to articulate to the people.
Absolutely.
Because we all we are is vehicles.
That's it.
We are spiritual beings living a physical experience. So this body right is a vehicle for us to perform what we need to perform while we're on this earth. But
Absolutely.
nothing, you know what I'm saying? Nothing is taken away and nothing is given. Everything is right here.
Everything's
So
right here.
one, if even if you translate somewhere else, all you're doing is leaving this body and you're going to the next body.
That's it.
So people don't understand, like, there's nothing new under this earth.
No.
Nothing can be taken away and nothing can be given. All is one. So yeah,
Absolutely. And then speaking of that, so I'm very familiar with getting those downloads. I wake up oftentimes 3, 4 in the morning.
yeah.
And I
That's the
will
best
jump,
time though. That's the best time to get your download between 3 and 4. Which
but
let's say between 3 and 6 o'clock. But
yes,
if you wake up at 3 o'clock for no reason, there's something telling you something.
that's it. That's it. And,
Yeah.
so that's when I definitely, try to tap in and I will, when I do that, the rest of my day kind of goes and I'm seeing these signs and and I'm journaling and and I do various things.
Hmm.
So I'm very familiar and it is something that I hope that I understand that everybody has a starting point. So, hopefully the viewers don't beat themselves up if they're not understanding exactly what we're saying.
Nah,
They'll move
nah,
closer
nah.
to
That that there is like there's levels. There's different levels and there's different frequencies when it comes to life and when it comes to thought. So,
yes.
like I said, you can't go from the first grade to the sixth grade. You have to gradually go to the first, to the second, to the third. So sometimes when I'm talking to somebody, they don't
Mhm.
understand me. I don't beat them up or beat myself up. I try. I'm not saying that I try to break it to layman's terms, but even Einstein said that if you can explain something that a child can understand, then you're doing it wrong. So even if you need to rush, what do you mean? I'm like, maybe it's not time for whatever I'm saying. It's not on their level. So either I will leave it alone and go to another subject, or I will try to break it down to the point where they can understand.
I love
But everybody has that. Like I said, God didn't just make one person to be special.
it. Mhm.
That's what people don't understand. And people look at people like LeBron James, why he's there? Why? Because he work hard.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, it's all about consistency. God made all of us
Mhm.
the same.
Right,
He didn't
right.
pick no favorites. It's just our level of consistency. And people don't understand that. I'm like, look, if you want something, you got to go at it. Because there's nothing in this universe that you don't have or you cannot have. It's all about perception. It's all about your hardware. It's all about your consistency. But the thing is, like, there's no formula to success. It's
Mhm.
just hard work.
Hard work.
It's just
Yeah.
hard work. And the thing is, like, the more that you clean yourself up, the more that you're around the right people, the more you starting to feel like who you are.
That's
I
right.
think, our people, the people that we around us, those are the negative people that we around is who makes us sick. People don't understand that.
Right. It does. Now let's get into this podcast because I know you're talking about your hard work, your downloads. So this podcast, I want to know more. Like, who's your audience? What is it about? When is it coming out? Talk to us
Okay.
about that.
Okay. My podcast is called Rich Talk Podcast, right? Let me
Mhm.
tell you how this all started, right? Because like I said, I'm very tapped in. So the monotony of barbering is getting a little bit, it's getting a little. I'm not gonna say boring, but I asked like I did before. I asked myself and I asked the Most High. I said, man, I think it's time for me to translate or trying to do something else. I kept asking myself, what can I do? Man, it was a struggle. I said, what can I do besides barbering that I love? Because the thing is, me, right? If I'm not doing something that I love, I'm not gonna put my 100% into it. Like, I love to work out. I love to make money. I love cutting hair. So I love my children. So I
Mhm.
put everything, every ounce of my blood into things that I love. So it's okay. Because people been asking me to help them physical train, right? I'm not, I don't love that. So for me to do that, it's going to be like, oh, all right. But I love to work out. But my heart is not in that field. So I kept asking myself, I said, what can I do? I said, Rich, you have all this information. How can you disseminate all this information to the people? Or how can you bring a certain flat platform that can cater to a certain audience? for them to pay for them to listen or pay attention. I said, okay. And let me give you a. I'm an introvert, by the way.
Okay.
I'm not even a people person,
Okay. Okay.
but I know how to what you call it,
You know,
metamorphosis.
an extrovert around the right
I'm
situation.
a I'm a, yeah, I'm an introverted extrovert. Let's just put it like that. You know what I'm saying? So I asked myself, I said, Rich, what can you do again? I can't, man. So I woke up one morning, it was like 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Podcast.
Mhm.
That's the first thing that came in my mind. Podcast. I'm like, what? I kept asking God, I said, what are you telling me? He said, and the crazy part about it, usually I get up at 4. I can't get up. I can't get up that morning till 6 because it was so much ideas going through my mind. And the crazy part of it, if you know how the body is, if you know about your neurons and your you know about your neurons, you have your oxytocin, your dopamine, so your hormones will start act. Most of my hormones was activated. So I kept asking God. I said, God, what are you trying to tell me? You know, I'm like, okay. He said, podcast. I said, okay. But if I'm doing now, the thing is, I love one thing I do. I love to talk to myself from the
Oh,
third person.
yeah.
You know, so Richard, why are you gonna do this? I said, I don't know. I figure it out. You sure you won't do this? And I said, I can't do nothing else besides this and cut. I just for 3 hours, I was just talking to myself. So after that, and before then, right? People don't believe in science, but I do. Like a year ago, I just started seeing numbers: 222, 333, 444, and I see them like maybe 5, 6 times a day. So now I go back and I Google it. What is this? What's this? And then tell me. So it became a little bit more. I kept seeing. I was like, somebody's trying to tell me something. If it's through my spiritual guides, it's through my ancestors, it's through the Most High, but somebody's trying to tell me that, Richard, yeah, you cut hair, but there's more that you can do besides cut hair. So I kept thinking about it. I said, okay. I slept on. I woke up. Podcast. What am I gonna call it? I started thinking. All right, okay, Rich. It was another name. I'm not gonna say what name it was, but it was another name. I was like, what about Rich Talk? I said, bad. And I said, well, okay, so what if somebody asks you what Rich Talk means? I said, damn, that's a good question. Me talking to myself again. That's a good question. So I said, you know what? If somebody asks me what rich talk means, I'm like, you know what? Riches is not about anything of monetary value. Rich is not physical. Rich is more about your state of mind. You know, the way that you put things together, the way that you help people, the way that you bring a presence to yourself where you can educate them. That's what riches are. Riches don't have anything to do with a typical physical currency. So I said, okay, that's a good idea. You know, so I kept asking, so who are you going to cater to? I said, you know what, that's a good question. So I said, you know what, DC, Maryland, and Virginia have a lot of entrepreneurs. DC, Maryland, and Virginia have a lot of entertainers. DC, Maryland, and Virginia have a lot of talent that has not really been tapped in. I said, no, there's a saying that there's charity always starts at home. I said, why don't I just put these people on? I said, why don't I just, whatever information that I have, I can bring these people on my podcast or bring these people on my platform, and just introduce them to the world so they can know what type of value that they're bringing to the world. I said, okay. I said, and I have a lot of friends, a lot of clients that's doing that, a lot of things that people don't know about. And there's sometimes they be afraid, not afraid, but they be a little bit they don't be a little bit eager to really let people know what they're doing. But I talk to them. They sit behind my chair, man. I have a way of getting stuff out of people, and they tell me exactly what they're doing and how they're doing. I say, you know what? Everybody has a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand how personality works, right? All you gotta do is put a microphone and a camera in front of somebody, and once they know that they're being filmed, oh, they tell you everything. They tell you everything. So once I got the idea, I start thinking about it. I start thinking about how I'm gonna structure it. So my main goal is to get to make my long story short. My main goal is to just bring awareness as far as the people in my area,
I like that.
business people, entertainment, even conscious people, people that think like I think. Bring
Absolutely.
them to my platform and interview them and give them that exposure, give them that light that they deserve. So and even if that comes in, even if that ends as far as them making more money, them being exposed and making more money, I did my job. I don't go into anything for the money. The money's absolutely significant, but I don't go into anything thinking about the money first. I go in, and everything that I go in, the first question I ask myself is, what kind of impact are you going to make to the people? Now, if I come up with an answer, then I know that I'm doing the absolute right thing. So that's the first one. I say, you know what are you going to bring to the table that's going to bring value to somebody that's watching, that's stuck in the middle, that don't know what to do? I said, I'm gonna provide them the right information and where to go, what sources, what's going to lead them to to go past that whatever threshold that they're stuck on. You got some people out here, man, they're stuck. When I say they're stuck, I mean they're stuck, and they need an outlet.
Yep.
And why, if you have enough information, you have enough people that you can interview, why don't you give them that outlet? They might call you like, Rich, you just sharing my life. You just had an interview with this person, and whatever you ask them, whatever they provided on your platform, changed my life. I did my job.
Now
I
what
did.
platform will it be on?
Huh?
What platform will it be on?
I'm doing both audio and I'm doing video.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
I'm doing the audio is going to be on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Apple. I think it's Apple Music, and the audio is going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook,
Perfect.
and down the line I'm gonna do a Patreon down the line. So I
Oh,
got
good.
yeah, I got a structure for it, and
I like
I'm planning on launching it not this Monday, but next Monday. But I start recording tomorrow. I
amazing.
start I
Congratulations.
start recording. Hopefully, I can shoot just like you interview me. You can reciprocate that
I
whole.
would love that.
I
I would
get I get you my chair.
I would absolutely
Ask you some questions.
love that. I'll be in the hot seat. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
I really learned a lot about you, and and it's amazing. I see we're on similar paths. I'm right now at the point where I'm seeing the numbers, and I
Hmm.
Google as well. Just yesterday I saw 4 in a row. I definitely know that I'm being guided, so I'm with you
Yeah.
on all of that.
Yeah.
Um,
The crazy, not to cut off your wisdom, right? The crazy thing is like we all been through a lot, right? And I tell people, as long as whoever that passed on or translated or transcended to wherever they are, as long as you keep their memory, they're always close to you. So
so
once they're close to you, they provide you certain information for you to navigate this universe. Because the thing is, we came here by ourselves, but we're not supposed to be here by ourselves. Everybody in this world needs help. I don't care who you are. I don't care how arrogant you are. You need some type of help, whether it's spiritual, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's financial, whether it's anything, you need some type of help. So once you tap into your ancestors and you believe that, like people are, it's spooky. It's not spooky. Because the thing is, if you experience what I experienced and you've been through what I've been through, you keep people that have translated or translated close to you so they can give you enough information because they've been here and like I said, they've been on the other side. So they know exactly what's going on. So that's what I'd like. Keep my friends that pass. I keep my family that pass, my close people that pass. I keep them close to me in my mind. And I always talk to them. Let like I'll be like, I surrender. I'm lost a little bit. I surrender. I need help.
yeah,
You
that's
know, and the crazy part about it, that once you do that and you allow yourself to be what's the word I'm looking for? You allow yourself to be I hate
a
that.
recipient or open to whatever it
You,
is that
yeah,
the universe
yeah,
has for you.
there you go. Then you get that. But if you close mind like this ain't gonna work, then you're gonna be walking around here like who don't need help? Like everybody need help. You know, yeah, so I mean that's what I'm on. I'm not asking everybody to be on that, but the thing is, it has helped me a lot. The
Absolutely.
word I was looking for is vulnerable. I'm sorry. So,
Vulnerable.
all right,
Absolutely.
look, one thing with me, I'm gonna tell you one thing with me. If something pops in my head and I forget, I have to remember that word, or it will
That's
I'm a Virgo by nature. I'm a
that's
very, very much of a perfectionist.
that's
So
okay.
some yeah, so you have
I,
to allow yourself to be vulnerable.
I love it. I love it.
You have to allow yourself to be vulnerable and just accept whatever that you see, even if it's something that you're doing wrong. You have to allow yourself to be vulnerable, not vulnerable, but humble yourself enough to know that, you know what, I don't know everything, but
That's
I
it.
know everything. In order for me to say that I know everything, I have to be able to say I don't know anything.
That's it.
You
Well,
understand me?
it
So,
has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. If you don't mind, I'm going to ask the people right now to not only hit you up on the links and the information that you provided and look out for your
yes,
podcast,
ma'am.
but to also hit share, subscribe,
Like
and
and
comment
subscribe.
because he actually dropped a lot of jewels for you guys. So that is our conversation. Hopefully, we can have you on again to talk about some other things.
Oh, most definitely.